What is up, people? Gabmus here, and welcome to the first real official live stream of Tech Pills. I'm pretty excited, guys. Thank you for being here. And actually, let me show you the chat. So you guys have been killing it lately with the poll and everything, and I'm really happy that you're joining me right now. So it's 6 p.m. in Europe, and not really sure about the time in the rest of the world right now, but I hope you I hope everyone that wants to be live with me right now actually made it. So I have to admit I'm pretty excited. So let me just basically tell you what this live stream today is gonna be about. So I will be answering your questions. So if you have any, just ask. This is the right time to ask anything. I have prepared some comments I want to talk about right now live, so that everyone can hear what I have to say about it. And I have prepared some topics I want to talk about, some technology, Linux related stuff in general that I just wanted to talk about, but I wasn't really sure about making standalone videos for this type of content. It's just really small stuff, so making standalone videos for these kind of things, I just thought I wanted to talk about them, but I think this way is actually better. So it's also a little bit interactive, you know. If you have anything you want to add to what I say, if you want to comment, if you want to ask anything related to what I'm saying, this is the right way to do it. And if the time allows, we will also be playing some Steam games. I have something ready, so if we want, I can just start playing when talking about stuff, or just figure it out along the way. So let's actually see the chat right now. And hey guys, so if you have any questions, just ask them right now. While I'm waiting, I will be picking up some comments. So I just wanted to, there are some questions. 7:02 p.m. here. What is your webcam? My webcam, I believe it's the Logitech C920, something like that. It's the first model of the 1080p Logitech webcam. It's really basic stuff. I bought it for like 60 euros or something like that. It's the entry level for streaming. Anything less than this is basically crap. So, all right. So let's start with these comments then. Let me just. All right. So the first comment, oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's going automatically. I didn't want this. Sorry. The first comment, and this is actually a question that I've been asked many times. And what desktop theme? Asked by Max DeLeon. So actually, I wanted to show you something because I already answered this question for the foreseeable future. So you just go to my website, techpills.technology. You scroll down and you see this article here, my Linux configuration, and here is everything about my desktop. It's the article is a little bit old, to be quite honest, but it's still up to date. I keep it up to date. And so here are the main theme I use is generally Adapta or some variation of it. So this is Adapta Adapta Ita, which basically is Adapta but with some more pixel saving stuff. I use GNOME Shell for my desktop environment, and this is the extension list. And for the icons, I keep getting back to Papyrus because it's really a great icon theme. It's simple. It's not, I mean, it's not really that fancy, but it's good enough, and it's very comprehensive. If you want to have a consistent desktop experience, you can just go with the Papyrus icon theme. It's really nearly perfect. And the other theme I tend to go to sometimes is La Capitaine, which is basically a macOS wannabe icon theme, but it's actually pretty well done. I mean, the guy put a lot of effort into it, and this is the secondary icon theme that I occasionally switch to. And another theme that I tend to use sometimes, but lately I haven't been, is Arc GTK. It's a really popular theme, but I didn't even include it here because it's been ages since I last used Arc. But it's still a great theme. And here are some of the apps that I use. You know, just go to the website if you want to know what theme or what configuration I'm using. Then there's even things about my terminal. So if you're interested, definitely go to the website. It's one of the articles. I didn't write so many, so it's my Linux configuration. It's really easy. It has this nice terminal icon as a thumbnail, so you will find it. So, next question. Where are you from? I am from Italy. I still live in Italy, and I am Italian, in fact. Many people mistake me for Greek, Spanish, Portuguese. I've heard them all, really. But yeah, I'm Italian. It's not a secret. Next question. Vaporwave confirmed. Yes. Definitely. Also, oh, wait. What's going on? To really understand this question, if you didn't see the thumbnail for this video, let me just show you. There it is. I made this with GIMP. I'm pretty proud of it. What can I say? Yeah, Vaporwave confirmed. Actually, this is not Vaporwave. This is more synthwave, retrowave, but you get the idea. So, let's actually move on to the chat. Let's see if I have any questions pending. Try Kanta theme. You know what? I have it installed, but I don't like it because the Kanta theme, I mean, it's well done. They put some effort into it, but it's a little bit too cartoonish and too bright for my taste, really. Adapta is simple and elegant, and it's bland. I mean, it's a very simple theme. That's probably the most important reason why I like it. Jamie Knight says, personally, I'm not into the whole customization thing. I'm happy with Debian plus stock Mate, and that does for me. That does me fine, sorry. I thought you were from Spain. Nope, Italy. We're cousins. I mean, Italians and Spanish people, we're cousins in a way, you know. Yeah, I mean, Debian plus Mate. I mean, that's a great combination. I'm not really into the, what they call the traditional desktop paradigm, but I understand that many people do. My first experience with Linux has been with GNOME 2. I understand where people are coming from when talking about Mate and I know XFC or OpenBox or even i3 and some stuff like that. It's not really my piece of cake, but I understand that there are many people out there that like it, and it's really fine. I mean, customization is about freedom of choice. The thing is that if you want to customize your desktop, your interface, you should be able to, but you shouldn't be it's not the thing that you have to do necessarily, but if you want to do it, you should have the possibility to. And Mate allows for great customization. If you're happy with the stock configuration, then that's perfectly fine. I'm happy for you. Also Debian, it's an interesting choice. So let's go on. So Matthew says, also, I always wonder how old are you, and can you write your name because I don't know how to pronounce Sicilian. There's someone that knows me probably here. So my name is Gabriele Musco, and let me write it for you in chat. This is my name, and actually my handle is Gabmus, which is a contraption of Gabriele Musco. And I am going to be 22 in August. So here's that. You saw me on Telegram. On gaming channel? Which gaming channel? You mean Gaming on Linux? If so, yeah, I did write sometimes in the Gaming on Linux Telegram chat. I mean, the Gaming on Linux people are really nice. Yeah, Linux Gaming. I think it's the same thing. The Linux Gaming or Gaming on Linux people are really nice, and they're doing a great job about reporting news about Linux Gaming, and you should really check them out if you didn't know them already. So big shout out to them. All right, so I think we can continue with the questions, can we? Let me just set this up. So Black Doctor asks, I had to fix a whole bunch of garbage on the laptop. This is referred to the XPS 13 review. I had to fix a whole bunch of garbage on the laptop, and in order to fix it, I was required to use Windows. So I couldn't be farther from the best Linux laptop then. And I chose this comment because the things are really much different right now. So there is this thing that's called, I have some notes, it's called LVFS, Linux Vendor Firmware System, I think. Actually, let me show you the webpage. There we go, Linux Vendor Firmware Service. So what's this? This is actually, you know, all those weird updates for the BIOS, for the firmware, for your Thunderbolt, or weird peripherals. It has been always difficult to work with this kind of stuff on Linux because there was basically no support from vendors. But things have changed, and this web page, sorry, is basically the front page of what the firmware update on Linux Vendor Firmware Service is. And basically most distros right now, including Arch, I think Debian, Ubuntu for sure, Fedora, and derivatives, have this built in. So when you're doing like GNOME software updates, you're gonna automatically install updates for your hardware. And there is actually a list of supported devices. So if you want to know if a device you own is currently supported by LVFS, you can just check out this page. Let me just copy paste it in the chat. So it's fwupd.org/lvfs/device list. So just go to this page and you have a huge list of brands and models of various PCs and different hardware that's supported by this project. And this list is, okay, it's not really that big a list, but it's pretty comprehensive, and especially from Dell. This section is all about Dell hardware, and there's a lot of stuff. And actually, there's a Thunderbolt firmware for Latitude, Precision, and XPS laptops, and something about Dell Vostro series, Dell XPS series. There's all kinds of different stuff. Latitude, Inspiron, Chengming. I don't know what that is, possibly a sub-brand of Dell. I have no idea. Anyway, there's a lot of hardware by Dell is supported. There are other brands as well, such as 8BitDo. I think they make like retro controllers. III, no idea what that is, but they have LVFS support. Altus Metrum. Again, no idea, but here's that. Jabra, HP, Husky Limited, Lenovo, some stuff from Lenovo, Linaro, Logitech. Oh, Logitech, really? Oh, yeah, they're unified receiver mostly. And Networky, which I have no idea again what they do. But as you see, this project is evolving, and they're bringing firmware updates to Linux and in a very easy way. So um, that here's that. So Black Doctor, you don't need Windows anymore if you want to buy an XPS 13 and roll Linux from day one, from day zero, really. You can do it. You don't even have to pass from Windows at all, and that's pretty great in my book. So let's move on. And Call Me MVP asks, I might trade Debian with XFC for my less technical friends and clients' computers, but only if it's stable. If it's as stable as Manjaro, actually. There's supposed to be less updates on Debian versus Manjaro, right? I don't want them to have to do updates as often. Thanks. So yeah, if you want minimum maintenance, Debian is a good choice. I don't think it's the best choice though. Manjaro. People have this idea that Manjaro is more stable than Arch or other distros, really, but in my experience, it really isn't. To be honest, I did try Manjaro a couple of times, not extensively, but I've heard experiences from people close to me that have had problems with Manjaro. Mostly because they tend to stay a little behind with updates in their repos compared to the Arch official repos. And these theoretically should bring more stability, but really what happens is that it can happen that some packages are updated before their dependencies and everything goes to hell basically. So at the end of the day, Arch is as stable as it gets for an Arch-based distro, really. Anyway, for your question, yeah, you can try going with Debian stable, but if you want to update those systems one day or another, you want to jump to another Debian release, it's not as easy, really. So what I suggest you to do is install Ubuntu 18.04, either the proper version, so the version with GNOME, or Xubuntu, so the one with XFC if it's really your thing. Oh, also, I really have to tell you, check out Ubuntu Mate, because they've been doing a great job like with polishing their distro. And if you want a great XFC like, so GNOME 2-ish experience, you want to be stable, easy, user friendly, and easy to maintain, Ubuntu GNOME, that's my Ubuntu 18.04 Mate version. That's my best bet right now. Also, it's an LTS, so it's supported for 4 years, and after that, you will be just upgrading to the next LTS, no problem. So here's that. That's my suggestion. You can go with Debian. It's not as user friendly, and yeah, I mean, Ubuntu is probably the best bet again. So let's actually check out the chat. I've seen some activity. So Matthew writes, I was shy to send you a request. Then you won't accept because you don't know me. Okay, guys. So if you want to write to me, you can do it. There are many ways to contact me, either from Discord, Telegram, YouTube comments even. But YouTube comments, it's a little bit weird because I tend not to read all the comments because most of them are repetitive, and I don't really tend to give too much attention to YouTube comments, and I'm sorry for that, but there are better ways of contacting me. So there's the Telegram group, there's the Discord server, there's you can send private messages on YouTube. There's with Twitter at Gabmus207. So if you want to reach me out on Twitter, you can do that. By the way, all these social websites, you can find them again on my website. It's not as easy as it used to be with new layout, because I recently switched to Hugo for my website, and it's a little bit different. But if you just you are like techpills.technology, in the top half of the page, you see a little link here, community, and here you see Discord server, Telegram group, and Telegram channel. These are the best ways to stay in contact with both the community and me personally. So if you want to write me anything privately, personally, you can do that. Don't worry, don't be shy, really. I'm just a person as you are, and I'm not more special than any of you. So really, I'll be happy to be chatting with you, if I have the time, of course. I usually tend to, so don't worry. Just write me a message. If I can answer, I will be. Otherwise, I will be reaching you out any other time. It's really no problem. So let's keep reading the chat. So I've seen someone ask, do you people use Steam or Wine? Okay, Steam or Wine? Why not both? I mean, the one doesn't exclude the other. I mean, I use mainly Steam for playing native games on Linux, but there are some games that I really want to play, like Fallout 4 that I've recently made a video about, and I use Wine for that. I actually installed Steam inside of Wine with some trickery, and got Fallout 4 to run. And I've done this thing with many other games. Really, it's perfectly doable. If you have some Windows only games, you should try. Also, there's a web page you should be visiting if you're interested in wine gaming. So let me just all right. So this is the page. It's okay. The link is enormous. I will just link it in the chat. So appdb.onehq.org, etc., etc. This is the browse applications section, and you want to play. Let's say you want to play Fallout 4. Okay, so just go here and write Fallout 4. And you will find an entry or more than one for that game or program or anything. Basically, you just click on it, and you will see various versions. This is the Steam version, and then here's a little test result. There are many different test results. Even if the rating is garbage, or I don't think there's anything lower than garbage, but it's worth to read, because this is garbage because it doesn't work really well with, well, as far as I remember, maybe this is the result I remember. Anyway, the game works actually. So if you just have to read through it, if you see that it works, that it needs tweaking, if you're feeling comfortable enough messing with Wine, then you should definitely try it out. And there are different test results too. So if the current one you're seeing, which is usually the latest, doesn't satisfy you, just look at the others. I mean, it's a weird word. It's not as easy to get Wine to work perfectly, but it's definitely doable. And if you have the interest, you should definitely be doing that. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water. So, Anurag Roy asks, oh, sorry. So Anurag Roy asks, do you rise r/Unix port? Oh, well, I do not rise because I don't have any incentive for doing so. I mean, it's really great that people take their time to customize the shit out of their desktop environments. Mostly window managers, all right? So BSPWM and i3WM, awesome. And many other window managers, also proper desktop environments. People take their time to rise them. I'm not one of those people. I do. I am subscribed to our Unix board because I see really inspiring stuff, and it's just nice eye candy. I love it. But no, I'm not one of those people, to be quite honest. I would like to be. I would like to be, but I I have better things to do, to be honest. It's fine if you do. I mean, it's great. You're doing a great job. You're doing some really nice eye candy, and I like you. So if you're doing it, don't feel ashamed for what I'm saying right now. It's just because I don't have the time. But you're doing a great thing. I love it. So your top three distros right now. Oh, that's a nice question. So, all right, my top three distros. It's not that difficult, but I would want to say them in order, but really there is no particular order because one is uh, good in one place and another one is good in another. So I'm just gonna say them out of order. They're all equally great. So Arch, of course, that's what I'm using, and Arch is, for me, it's the best distro because I consider myself a power user. I am a programmer. I like to tinker with my systems and do all various stuff. Not tinker as in our Unix porn though. I like to tinker in like knowing what my system is doing and tweaking it and being able to know how to tweak it and the best way to. Oh, you're actually seeing the my screen sharing right now. Sorry, that's better. No, actually, I want to show you something. Talking of Arch, uh, so I'm curating this little GitHub page, which I ironically called Best Arch. Speaking of Arch, of course. So Best Arch is a really simple thing. It's a micro wiki of the things I do after installing Arch. Tweaks, packages, weird things, interesting stuff, performance stuff, multimedia stuff, hardware decoding, these kind of things that I usually every time I install Arch, and not on my system. I have this Arch install since forever now, but on other systems that like I don't know, VMs that I spin up for testing things, or laptops or friends' computers. This is where I collect all these knowledge. And anytime I have to, I don't know, install system deboot, because I do it once every install and I don't remember it on the top of my head, I just go to Best Arch and click on use system deboot, and here's a very quick install guide with the Arch wiki reference for most of the entries. Or I don't know, let's say want to enable calls in Pacman. Just click here. It's literally a line. I mean, the wiki is great, but for a quick personal reference, this is something I really like, and I will link this in the live chat right now. So it's github.com/gabnus/bestarch. And if you have any suggestions, actually you can do like either an issue or a pull request, and I'll be so happy if you do, because it will help me make this knowledge base bigger, or if not bigger, more comprehensive of tweaks and common things that you want to do on a fresh installed system. So this is for my number one distro of choice. The second place, okay, I'm not giving places again, sorry. The second I want to mention is Ubuntu Mate, and particularly 18.04, since it's an LTS and it's the latest version. You really know I like to be on the bleeding edge, so the latest version it is for me always. And why Ubuntu Mate 18.04? It's so different from what I'm doing on my main system, but you know, you have that friend that uses the computer but doesn't really know what he's doing, or you know, your grandma or your dad, whatever. Those kind of people that need to use a computer but are really technical and don't have to do anything special with it. Ubuntu Mate. It's great. It's great because it has a familiar user interface. It's customizable. It's easy to maintain. It basically requires no maintenance at all, almost. But it's polished. It's like the level of polish in Ubuntu Mate is meraviglioso. So Ubuntu Mate for an easy distro. I really like it. So again, they're not in any particular order. So the third distro of choice is Solus, and I didn't spend too much time with Solus, just a little bit, but enough to be aware of how nice and interesting it is, because it's bringing something new to the table. It's so interesting because it's a new distribution from scratch, and it's basically made to be easy, but at the same time it has some things that are as advanced as Arch in a way. It takes a weird spot. I have to be honest, but I really like it because it's bringing it's something so refreshing in the Linux scene. And I mean, knowing Ike, I mean, I don't know him personally. Clearly, I would love to. I mean, and Ike, if you're stumbling upon this video, just write me on Telegram. I really like your work, and I would really love to chat with you. And the work that Ike Doherty is doing on Solus is so great. I mean, he's a great developer. The whole theme, why I keep saying theme instead of theme, sorry. The whole team behind Solus is great. And again, the level of polish is high. Not as high as Ubuntu Mate, because the team is smaller and the distribution is younger. It's not based on Debian or Ubuntu, which is basically ancient right now, and the base is so solid it's practically a safe bet. So it's something completely new, and I'm so happy of it. I've actually thought of switching to Solus a couple of times. It's just not my cup of tea, but it's really interesting. So thank you for the question. That was actually really interesting. Thanks. So I think it's time we can move on to the next question. So why, with the GNOME update, they removed desktop? That was an interesting choice, to say the least. All right, I don't want to be quoted on this because it's between rumors and my experience. I don't have an official statement on this, and I don't work. I'm not part of the GNOME Foundation. I want to be, but I'm not as of now. So, why they removed the desktop icons? Basically because they were buggy as hell. I mean, they weren't putting enough effort in it. GNOME is still an open source project. Volunteers work on it. If there is no one working on it, it was basically there, but it was a buggy pile of steaming crap. And it was working so bad that I actually switched for my desktop. I've been using another thing that I'll be talking about later. I've been using another thing for my desktop icons, even before upgrading to GNOME 3.28. But I know it's a difficult choice because it's important for most people to have desktop icons. And removing them wasn't the wisest of choices. But to be quite frank, they had to do it because it was far too buggy and no one was working on it. Possibly with GNOME 4 or GNOME 3.30, we will be seeing an extension to manage desktop. And I'm really fine with it. I mean, if it works, it's okay. Now, as for the desktop icons, right now I am using Nemo desktop. So what I've been doing is I installed Nemo, but I actually hate Nemo because it's a terrible file system in my opinion. It's not terrible, but I said file system, I meant file manager. Anyway, it's not really terrible, but I really like the GNOME way of developing Nautilus, because Nautilus, or at least GNOME files, is become really simple and it's as basic as it gets. And I don't want anything more from a file manager. I know I sound like a GNOME shill, but to be quite frank with you, there are people like me who prefer to have simple graphical user interfaces, and for anything more complex, we just use the terminal. That's how people like me work. I mean, that's it. So GUI for really simple day-to-day stuff, terminal for everything powerful and strong that needs some actual mini scripting or something like that. Nemo, as well as Dolphin and Kaha, not my cup of tea. Too complex. They are really similar to what Nautilus used to be back in the GNOME 3.10. No, maybe earlier than that. Let's just say the GNOME 2 days. All right, they had basically the same features. I understand that some people, many people, actually prefer to have a more feature-rich file manager. I just don't. That's how I am. And if you want a more functioning and more feature-rich file manager, you can just use Kaha or Nemo or Dolphin even. No one stops you. Even if you like GNOME, you can use whatever applications you want in it. And I've been using Nemo for my desktop icons manager, and it's been working very nicely. Because if I'm on GNOME, apparently if I double click on an icon and without changing any settings, the icon on the desktop, the folder in the desktop is open in Nautilus, and that's what I wanted to do. And that's just great. It's practically a drop-in replacement. You just have to make a desktop file, and that's it. You have Nemo. You can manage your icons with that. That's what I'm doing, and it's been working flawlessly. It even works on Wayland for what it matters. All right, so let's move on to the next question. So Bad Wolf Plays asks, I use Adaptamocha theme with the ghost flat icon on my arch. It's not really a question, but a nice suggestion. I will check it out. Actually, let me copy this comment in my notes because I want to check out new themes once in a while. Thanks. So Jamie Knight asks, how do you feel about LibreBoot? Personally, I haven't really tried it, but I like that I could install an open source BIOS on a computer. Alright, so that's a nice question, but I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, as you said, it's nice to have free software. It's not about open source only. I mean, just be aware of this. It's not about just it being open source for the sake of having the source code. It's about it being free and respecting your freedom. And I know I sound like Stallman right now, but that's what free software is about. And actually, I don't have any computer that supports LibreBoot, but if I had, I would put it on it. I mean, it'd be really nice. Next question. Would you prefer Linux to be a more mainstream OS rather than niche OS because of the prestige of exclusivity? Yes, I would definitely like to see the Linux desktop someday. I think I will. And I have all the suggestions from the news. I can already see how Linux is basically the next Windows in the sense, not in the sense of shit security and bugs everywhere or awful user interfaces. Although we're getting there with GNOME. By the way, I use GNOME, so I'm just kidding right now. Okay, yes, I see the Linux desktop being more successful in the close, but I don't know how close future. And it will bring something really nice if it gets more popular. We will have professional software, more professional software actually, like, I don't know, After Effects or Premiere that many people like and use. I don't, but I would certainly love to see more people using Linux because, okay, to be quite frank with you, I don't miss much from the Windows world. I've never really used Windows in my life. I've been switching from Mac OS to Linux. something like 10 years ago, maybe more, maybe less. I can't tell right off the top of my head, but I don't miss very much from those closed source proprietary systems. Mostly because I can do whatever I need to in my Linux machines. I mean, programming is a breeze. Video editing, that's KDE Live. There's Blender if you're feeling crazy. There's Natron for compositing, and Natron is really awesome. You should check it out. It's a little bit difficult and resource intensive, but it's a really nice program. There's Audacity for audio editing. There's Ocean Audio. That's an Audacity alternative. That's also interesting. And I can't really think. Okay, Inkscape for vector graphics. Sure, I use that all the time. GIMP, and I cannot really think of much more I'd want. The only things really are some games because I like gaming, but I can live without one or two games. I mean, it's not a big deal. Besides, Wine is doing a great job with the whole DXVK thing and DirectX 11 compatibility. That it's just great. I don't need Windows. I don't even think we need more popularity, to be quite honest. It'd be nice. It'd be great. I mean, as more freedom as possible. That's what all of us want. But I think we're in a good spot right now. So, to the next question. Tried Wine to play World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria, but laptop tend to overheat and shut down. On Win works perfectly instead. Okay. So, if your laptop overheats to the point of shutting down, there's probably something very, very wrong with it. Probably Windows throttles your CPU and GPU down to the point that it doesn't overheat as much, and Linux possibly doesn't have this kind of fail-safes, and instead it just triggers the BIOS fail-safe, and instead of throttling, it just shuts down, and that's it. Okay. Sorry, my throat is really sore right now. So I don't know what laptop you have. So if you wanted to follow up with that question, giving me a little more details. But the first thing I would do is, if you feel like it, do it yourself. Instead, bring it to a professional. to a professional. You should open it up and change the thermal paste and put in some fresh one, clean off all the dust that's probably accumulated. I don't know how old this laptop is, but if it's overheating to the point of shutting down, it's probably filled with dust. And the thermal paste is probably dust as well right now. So clean it up, open it up, clean up. You have to clean it all. Again, if you feel comfortable doing it, otherwise it's just worth it to bring it to a professional and let them do it. So next question, Bad Wolf Plays again asks, no, it's not a question again, it's still a suggestion, I think, or a statement. Openbox myself for 6 months and never felt comfortable. Yeah, that's basically what using a window manager feels like. No, really. I mean, there are people that are really comfortable with window managers. I like OpenBox for simplicity. If I need to use a very lightweight desktop of some ways to have graphics and Xorg, I mostly just use either OpenBox or, in rare cases, LXD, but OpenBox is really just fine. Bad Wolf Plays again. Systemd boot? Yes, finally someone else that uses it. I actually found that Systemd boot works awesome. I mean, it works a lot better than Grub. It's more easy to tweak and to install and to change stuff around. The configuration file is basically minuscule, and it works well with UEFI. Think the same thing I couldn't say about Grub. And yeah, system deboot, really suggested. Not one of those people that says the system is shit and we should boycott it. Not that kind of person. I really like systemd, and everything is simpler since it became practically the standard, and I'm really happy of it. So here's that system deboot. For your next install, try it out. If you have UEFI, it's really great. Next, Matthew again. What is your keyboard and what do you think about Mass Drop Input Club K-type keyboard? Okay, I really like mechanical keyboards. My actual keyboard is not that great. It's a Razer Black Widow Chroma Tournament 2013, something like that. It's a Razer. It's good. It does the job, but it's overpriced and it's not the best that's out there. I don't have a strong opinion on boutique mechanical keyboards. So anything from Mass Drop and stuff, don't have strong opinions on that stuff, because really I would love to, and I'm actually thinking about assembling something a little bit different for my next keyboard. And I'll let you know if I have any strong opinion on boutique mechanical keyboards. I will tell you for sure. But as of now, I think they're cool, but never tried one. Couldn't tell. The only thing that I can tell you for sure is that 60% keyboards make no sense to me because they're too small, and I think that unless you are really into Vim, and I do use Vim, but I'm not that much into it. Unless you're using Vim like to do anything and you know your keyboard better than you know, I don't know, your face, I don't think a 60% keyboard is good enough for anyone else, I mean. Other than that, really cool stuff. Don't have a strong opinion on it. We'll have it probably soonish or laterish. We'll let you know. Bad Wolf Life, if someone is going to use Ubuntu, Mate is the best. Agreed. Yeah, because I think there are better distributions if you want to use, you know, for instance, Fedora or Arch or Antergos. But yet, Ubuntu has a decent implementation of GNOME. And the fact that they're using it as their default desktop environment right now is really great. We're already seeing a lot of improvement in GNOME thanks to Ubuntu. At least I think it's thanks to Ubuntu. So, Renzo Monte, how can I turn my desktop on? I'm getting crazy. What do you mean? I mean, you mean your actual desktop or your desktop PC? You turn it on by pressing the power button if you have connected it. Otherwise, connect it and then press it. I think that's pretty easy. Bad Wolf Plays again. I use PCman FM. Again, your choice. I think it's a good file manager. Don't use it. Like it though. That's fine. Renzo Monte, I tried to use Nemo. Oh, Renzo, you are talking about the desktop icon. Sorry, it wasn't clear, but I get it now. I tried to use Nemo, but don't know how to make it my desktop. Okay. I will make a real quick tutorial right now. So let me actually show you my current solution for my desktop. And I'm not sure I want to show my desktop because there are some things that I wouldn't make public. But in fact, it's disabled right now. This is the GNOME no desktop thing. So let me open up a terminal. All you really have to do is create a desktop file. So vim local share. So sorry, vim dot local into your home directory slash share applications, and create a new file called Nemo desktop. You can even call it, it's the same thing. You can call it whatever. Just call it Nemo desktop for the sake of it. Dot desktop. That's important. So you just have to basically put in this stuff here. So double square parentheses, desktop entry, encoding UTF-8, type application, category system, terminal false, exec nemo dash desktop, name nemo desktop, icon nemo, of course, X GNOME auto start phase desktop. So this means that it opens up when you open up your desktop. Auto start notify true, auto restart true, so that if it crashes, which happens, it will auto restart. Just make this file, put it into your again, the path is .local share applications, and then in your file name, just create this file, and then you will just press super, and at least it's super for me. If you're using GNOME, it's the same thing. Just write Nemo desktop, and it should be it. If you did everything correctly, you should see this little icon here, and you can just open it up, and your desktop pops out. And if you want to auto start it, you just open Twix and go to start applications, press this little add button here and search for Nemo desktop and press add, and that's basically it. It will start along with your session. All right, so Bad Wolf plays again. People keep telling me that systemd is evil. It is not. Grub is actually an ancient evil that is broken and just gets in the way and of me evolving my system and keeping it working properly. Yeah. Okay. Grub is ancient. It's still being developed and maintained as far as I can tell, but it's not evil. I've been using Grub forever, and you probably been too if you've been using any Linux distribution prior to systemd. It's good. It works for most people, and besides, if you have a master boot record only system, you have to use it. I don't think there are other feasible alternatives to it. Grub is fine. I prefer systemd boot. By the way, systemd as in itself is not a replacement for Grub. It's an init system, and many people criticize it because it actually started out as an init script and slowly started absorbing more stuff and taking the job of cron and other parts of the system, and people don't like this because it's basically like putting a lot of eggs in just one single basket, but it's not a big of a deal. It works, and it works well. People started whining also when Pulse Audio came out, and you'll be able to hear this stream because Pulse Audio works. The same thing with systemd. I've been using systemd for a lot of time now, since I've been using Arch. It works well. It makes everything easier. I use it on my Ubuntu server, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's great. It's just great. Don't fuck with systemd. You may or may not like it. You're not. It's not mandatory. I mean, you don't have to use it. You can. You can choose other things. If you want to install Deuven, you can do it. If you want to install OpenRC, I think it's called, the Gen 2 init system on Arch or on any other Linux distro, you can do it. It's Linux, guys. It's not like someone is forcing a decision on you. Just take your decisions. So Grub is not evil. Systemd is not evil. Systemd boot, it works nicely, and everyone should be able to make their choice free, choices freely. Next question. So K-Type is open source hardware and very compact and simple design. What is K-Type? Oh, they talking about the keyboard. Yeah, I didn't know it was an open source design. It's really great. I mean, again, don't have any strong opinions on it. If you like this type of mechanical keyboards, if it's 60% in kilos, I don't remember. I have a very basic knowledge of the mechanical keyboard world. I would like to get more into it, but don't know too much about it. It's nice. I mean, it's very nice. But I cannot talk because, again, I don't have any actual experience with any of these things. So, sorry. Bad Wolf plays, if you like mechanical keyboards, maybe you give a look at the Red Dragon K555. It's what I use. I hate Red Dragon because they're cheap. Their backlighting is just one color most of the time, and the build quality is not great. I mean, they are cheap entry-level options, and if that's all you can afford, that's perfectly fine with me. But I will never buy a Red Dragon unless everything changes and they make an awesome keyboard for cheap. But I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. It's evil simply because it breaks a lot. I only say evil because everyone uses evil for lots of things. It's not like it's Satan. Lol. It doesn't break so often. It's complex, for sure. If you don't fuck with it, it doesn't break. If you don't have Windows in dual boot, it doesn't break. It only breaks if you either have Windows in dual boot or you fuck up with it. And if you don't do either of those things, it's gonna be fine. You can just use Grub for years without any problem. Matthew, is it so compact to put it in backpack? Oh, they're talking about the K555, sorry. All right, so that was all the questions in the live chat, and it's pretty cool. Okay, I think we can go on with some comments, and if you want, guys, just tell me. This is your moment as much as it is mine. So if you want to see some games, tell me. Oh, speaking about games, Matthew is saying right now. How about making a test gameplay with Tekken 7, my favorite games on Star Laptop Pro Review? You can also try making gaming series Let's Play. I'm not really too much into Let's Play. I wouldn't watch them myself, so I don't think I will be doing Let's Plays. Live stream of games, probably, possibly, if there's enough demand for it, I can think of it. But Let's Plays, no. And Tekken 7, isn't that a PS2 game? I mean, it will run on an Intel HD graphics. Why should I review it on the Star laptop? It will work for sure. I mean, the PlayStation 2 emulator is really lightweight. It doesn't need that much power. I think it even works on a phone. Is there Tekken 7 for PC? Not really too much into beat 'em ups, so don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, again, if you want me to play something, tell me. Oh, new Tekken 7? Is it on Linux or Wine? Wait a second. Let me just Google this. New Tekken 7. Yeah, March 18, 2015. Oh, it's not that new, but it's decently new. $49? What? On Steam? No, thanks. It's Windows only, so I should try to run it on Wine. Not really. If you want to donate it, my handle on Steam is gabmoose207. I will. If you donate it, I will test it. I don't have $50 to spend on a game. It's not really. I don't even know if it runs. Sorry. If you want to send a key or a gift on Steam, feel free to. It'd be awesome. If you do, I will surely make a video about it. Again, my handle on Steam is at Gabmoose. There's no at in Steam handles. It's Gabmoose207. So just send me to just send it over if you want me to test it out. Bad Wolf Plays says 7 Days to Die. Don't have this game. That's why we have one free of cost. What are you talking about? Are you suggesting that I pirate this game? Because I want. And Wine is not an excuse for pirating games or any other kind of content for what it matters. No, man. We're not on the same page here. If you want to play a game, you buy it. There's no other way. You can find it on sale. I think they will have a sale sometime, but pirating, it's out of question. 7 Days to Die suggests Black Wolf Plays. Let's see what it's all about. think I've seen this game, like the thumbnail or something, or the trailer even. Open world game that is unique combination of first person shooter, survival, or tower defense. Weird. $22.99 on Steam. Linux compatible. It looks Unity. It looks so much Unity. It could be nice. Again, it's not in my priority list. So again, if you want to donate it, I'll try it. We'll even make a video out of it. But I don't think I will buy it in the foreseeable future. All right. Again, let's try reading some more comments. So, about the Fallout 4 video. Have you got .esp mods working? I have everything set up identical to Windows and it's still not working for me. Didn't try any mods. Didn't want to fuck up with it. No, can't tell you. Sorry. You have to try it yourself. I think they will work based on the fact that Skyrim is basically the same engine, and I've tried some mods on Skyrim with Wine. Should be working fine. Although don't mess up with it too much because it's still not as stable as it is anyway. Lorenzo asks, "Are you against piracy?" Of course I am. I am a software developer. I am all in for software freedom, but I'm not for. I want this thing for free because I don't want to spend a penny on it. No, I am totally against piracy, guys. I want to try and get State of Decay 2 working in Wine, but it's actually a Windows 10 Xbox crossover game. What? I think I played the first State of Decay, you know? State of Decay 2. Yep, I think I played the first one. Nice, a real engine. And is it only available in the Microsoft Store? Because if it is, I don't think your chances are too high for that. So anyway, we're reading comments. Oh, Lance again. No, Lance, sorry. Bad Wolf plays again in chat. I want to try and get, okay. I'm against piracy. If you want to play something, buy it. Yes, only in store. I think you're out of luck, mate. You can hope that it gets out on Steam, and since it's a real engine, it will probably be working fine in Wine. Although I can't be sure. But who knows? Maybe one day. Anyway. Have you solved an issue where the audio bugs out shortly after starting combat? I didn't experience this particular bug, but I fixed all the audio problems. The way I did it, just have to see the video. I did some DLL overrides. It's really simple. Just follow the video. It's all explained there. About the Nextcloud video, how can I get my server on the internet? Whew, that's an interesting question. It depends. It depends on where you live. It depends on what internet service provider you have. In my case, it wasn't the easiest process. So the easiest way. Okay, first thing, you kind of need to have a domain name. So if you want to buy a domain name, and yeah, you cannot pirate those, so you have to buy them. I can suggest a really nice website that for domain registration. It's called Nyala. It's by the creators of the Pirate Bay, and yeah, I do respect the ideas behind the Pirate Bay, but I am against software piracy. That's two different things, guys. So Nyala. It's njal.le .la. So, and I will just copy paste the link in the chat. I'm getting sick of spelling things. So Nyala is my domain register, and it's really transparent. You can pay in Bitcoin even. Not that I did, but The pricing is upfront. You have certain kind of domains that are $15, other 30, 45, up to 75, and they have privacy built in. They have a great dashboard where you can basically register any subdomain you want. So any number of third level domains, you can register it with Nyala for the price of one. And you can do email aliases, and you basically have the entire control over the DNS entries, everything. You can control everything, and it even supports dynamic DNS. So you need a domain name. How you acquire that, it's not my business. I want you to suggest this one because in my opinion it's great, and I've used GoDaddy, which is probably the most popular one. Didn't like it, switched to Nyala, never looked back. It's awesome. So getting your server on the internet, once you have your domain name, you need to either have a static IP or configure a way of having a dynamic DNS. So a static IP, you have to call your internet service provider and tell them, I want a static IP. They will either tell you to fuck off, or they will tell you that there are two possibilities, really, three. Either you cannot have it, or you can have it but you have to pay for it, or you can have it for free, which is unlikely. So my previous internet service provider, Fastweb for the record, here in Italy, they offered me a static IP address, and that's what I had to have to get my server online. And you just, once you have the static IP, it means that your network is always under the same IP address. Anytime you reboot your router or anything happens, you're just under the same IP. So you just take the IP and put it in your in an A entry in the DNS, and that's basically it. You have your server online. You just have to wait for the DNS seeds to refresh, and you will be online. Otherwise, you will have to rely on a dynamic DNS service. Nyala, again, offers dynamic DNS services for their domains. You basically have a little API call you can make with a key. So I cannot show you mine because there's a key in it and it's sensible. So you have this API key, and this basically HTTP call. You just go to the web to this link and append to the link your current IP address, and it will dynamically set the domain name to your current IP address. And the best way to set this up, you have to basically have something like a cron job. You could either use a cron job to curl the URL, and basically periodically, I set mine every 10 minutes, tell the registrar, hey, this is my IP address, hey, this is my IP address, and so on. You can have a cron job doing that. I did it with the systemd timer service, and I think it's just easier. Again, systemd makes everything easier. Don't hate on it because it took cron job. I just saw what I did there. It's not replacing cron. Cron is useful for other stuff, system that cannot depend on systemd. I could just use the systemd timer. That's it. You can use cron job anyway, and you just tell the server, the register, that your server is that the certain IP address. It's a little bit more complicated, but nothing that a day of research and trial and error won't solve. I want to move on. Is there a reason you only selected GTK GNOME apps? Because I mainly like and use GTK and GNOME apps. I think they look better, and besides, they're compatible with any other system. I did choose some Qt apps, namely KeePass XC, and I think that's the only Qt app. But I also chose an Electron app, and that's Riot. No particular reason behind it. I think those applications are nice. I think in general the GTK applications look nice, so here's that. So let's actually switch to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Okay, I played many games pirated and later bought the actual game to support the developers. That's a nice thing to do, but you should have bought them in the first place. And if your argument is, oh, but I didn't know if I liked the game, there are demos for that. You can just play the demo version of the game and decide from that if you like it or not. And if there's no demo version, I don't know, but I wouldn't pirate it. What do you think of Librem phone, and will it fail like Ubuntu phone because they both run good on Linux? No, they will not fail. At least this is what I'm hoping. I really hope to get rid of Android because Android is too tight for me. I want to be able to do my power user stuff on the go, but I cannot with Android. I mean, the closest thing I can get is a chroot Linux install, but that's far from ideal for what I need. Besides, I don't want my life in the hands of Google. It's complicated. Making a phone in a market like this is no easy task. They're working on it. They're doing a nice job. They have a past of delivering their project. So I have high hopes. I really hope they pull it off. I think they will, but you can never tell. Bad Wolf plays again. Well, great stream, but brother, I need to head out, run some errands. Ciao, everyone. Bye. Thanks for to have joined us. All right, so I think it's time to go back to the comments. I just want to get through these so that, I mean, these are just questions that many people could ask, so I think it has a certain value to answer them. You use Arch Linux? Yes. How do you get Riot on Arch? Sudo pacman -S Riot -desktop. It's that easy. Okay, so this question is basically about DXVK, and is copying the DLL the only thing required? Is that shell script not required? I think that all the shell script does is making symbolic links to those libraries. You can just replace them. It's the same thing. I prefer to do it this way by just moving them because it's really simple and straightforward. You can do either way. I like this way. Nothing Dell puts out is good. You want quality, then go to Lenovo. I actually had some bad experiences with Lenovo. My girlfriend has a Lenovo, and it's actually a ThinkPad, the Edge series, but it's still a ThinkPad, and it's acting really weirdly later. And a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, has a Lenovo IdeaPad that's basically going to shit every second. Every second it's worse. Really, I mean, the texture on it, gone. The microphone, inaudible. The speakers, inaudible. The screen, terrible TN shit. I mean, yeah, Dell puts out those kind of laptops too, but the quality of those low-end laptops is better. And I mean, middle-of-the-road laptops like the ThinkPad Edge and the respective Dell thing for the ThinkPad Edge, they're better. They're better because I've seen them at uni. Lenovo doesn't make good products. Maybe the really high-end ThinkPads, but the really high-end Dells are really fine too. Can you suggest me your favorite podcast about Linux? I can suggest you many podcasts about Linux, actually. So the best podcasts I listen to, my favorites are from Jupiter Broadcasting. My favorites are Linux Unplugged and Linux Action News, and some other ones from Jupiter Broadcasting are Tech Talk Today, even if that's not really just about Linux. Coder Radio, again, not just about Linux, it's about programming, and it's really nice and entertaining if you're into that kind of stuff. Also, not from Jupiter Broadcasting, I really suggest you to listen to the Linux Gamecast Weekly. Those guys are really nice, and they talk about Linux gaming, and they're fun. I like their podcast, so if you want to check them out as well. And another one is Late Night. I don't know if I already mentioned it, but anyway, a Late Night Linux. It's a great show, very professional, and they talk about interesting stuff. They often have important developers talking in the show and commenting on some popular arguments and stuff. I really think it's worth listening to it. Next question, and we're done with questions. That's really nice. Let's go back to the chat and see what's going on. So there's some people leaving. I understand. It's okay. What is the best phone in your opinion? And what's your phone? Oh, what is the best phone? That's the $1,000,000 question. Because I don't have a best phone right now. I have the last worst phone that I think I could get at the time. I currently have a OnePlus 5 running Lineage OS. And let me just take a sip of water because my throat again is so sore. I have so OnePlus 5 running Lineage OS. It's been doing fine. It's far from what I would consider perfect, but for the phone industry right now, I think this is the best you can get, basically, if you're willing to spend the money on it and if you're willing to mess around with Lineage OS. I think that's the only feasible way to use a phone right now. All right, so I think we're done with questions, comments, and everything else. And it's been an hour and 20 minutes, and 17 minutes, actually. So I think I will just... My voice is going away. So, yeah, I think it's time to close this live stream here. It's been great, guys. I've been really enjoying this, and I hope I can do this kind of content. Hey, there's my dog there. He's called George, by the way. He's a really nice dog, but he is an attention whore. He needs attention like 24/7. Anyway, guys, again, I've been really happy to do this kind of live stream together with you. It's been really entertaining for me, and I hope it's been for you as well. And I've had the possibility to talk about many little things that I wouldn't have otherwise made specific videos for. And it's been a nice and fun experiment. I really like this kind of content. And I hope you liked it too. And I think it's time we end this. So guys, this is gonna wrap it up for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please make sure to press the thumbs up button down there. And also remember to subscribe to my channel if you want more of this. So again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.